Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're a fan of epic Marvel adventures, mind-bending time travel, and jaw-dropping twists, you are in the right place. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an epic upload. All right, let's get into it. Fantastic Four, Volume 1. New York shook with chaos. Sirens screamed, smoke rose, and terrified crowds ran for cover. Amidst the destruction, Ben Grimm, known to the world as the Thing, slammed his stone fists together with a deep, gravelly growl, ready to tear into battle. Beside him, the elastic genius Reed Richards, or Mr. Fantastic, analyzed the battlefield with razor-sharp intellect. Flames crackled as the hot-headed Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, hovered mid-air like a fiery comet. And calm yet powerful, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, glowed with a magnetic energy field, her eyes locked with fierce focus on the enemy ahead. And their enemy was no ordinary villain. Perched arrogantly atop a levitating golden palanquin, Dr. Doom surveyed the chaos below like a twisted monarch. His green cloak billowed around his armored figure as the shimmering shield surrounding him reflected the explosions erupting across the city. 4 trembling soldiers barely kept his floating throne aloft, straining under its weight. His laughter cut through the sound of destruction like a knife. "Ha ha ha ha, look at them struggle!" Doom sneered, his metal voice echoing through the battlefield. "Soon the world will kneel! I shall not be ruler, I shall be emperor!" That was the final spark. Sue Storm's fury ignited. Eyes burning with righteous anger, she projected a blast of force field energy, glowing violet with magnetic distortion, directly at Doom. But before it could hit, a brilliant laser shield flared around the tyrant, deflecting her assault with a sonic boom. Enraged by her audacity, Doom shouted to his guards, "You worthless tin heads! Get this woman away from me!" But it was far too late for orders. One by one, his army was crumbling. The Thing charged through Doom's metallic soldiers like a wrecking ball in a demolition derby, sending chunks of metal flying with every punch. Mr. Fantastic stretched and twisted around laser blasts, disabling weaponry with his coiled limbs and sharp thinking. Above them, the Human Torch danced through the sky like a living flame, launching fireballs that lit up Doom's battalion like fireworks. Sue Storm, breathing heavily but focused, narrowed her eyes. With a surge of raw power, she pushed her energy field to its limit. It shimmered like a collapsing star as it blasted Doom's shield at point-blank range, shattering it into sparks. "Now, Reed!" she shouted. Seizing the opening, Reed's body shot forward like a stretched slingshot. His fist elongated, coiled with momentum, and struck Doom square in the chest, sending him crashing to the ground with a thunderous metallic groan. As the last of Doom's forces fall, the battle finally stills. The 4 heroes converge, standing over their defeated nemesis. Doom, ever defiant, claws at the ground, trying to rise. "You pathetic creatures," he growls. "How dare you insult me? I am not a man. I am the Emperor of the world." He rises to his knees, swaying, sparks flying from his damaged armor. His cape is torn, and one side of his mask is dented. But still, he resists. Johnny steps forward, flames still dancing across his arms. "Stay down, Doom. It's over. All your warriors are scrap. You're just a madman with a broken dream now." Doom's body trembles with rage. He clenches a fist, and from the palm of his gauntlet, a surge of energy pulses. "You fool!" he snarls. "Nothing is over as long as I breathe." With a final roar, he slams his hand to the ground, and a glowing portal erupts beneath the Fantastic Four, swallowing them in a vortex of crackling light and wind. The team vanishes in an instant. Doom stands alone, breathing heavily, looking over the scorched battlefield. His palanquin lies in ruins. His army has been annihilated. But he smiles beneath the mask, victorious in his own twisted mind. He says with venomous satisfaction, "Now, you will disappear into history." Each hero was flung through time, spiraling across strange worlds and alien skies, alone, disoriented, and seconds away from crashing into the unknown. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, spiraled down toward a world unlike anything he'd ever known. Millions of years before Earth's atmosphere had formed, the planet was a raging furnace. Molten lava oozed across a cracked, fiery surface beneath a dark, oxygen-starved sky. As he fell, Johnny shouted his battle cry, "Flame on!" But nothing happened. His fire sputtered, weak and flickering. There wasn't enough oxygen to ignite fully. He plummeted lower, panicked, trying again. "Flame on!" A faint glow sparked around him. Then, with one final surge of will, his body ignited. But only just. His flames were thin, fragile, barely enough to slow his fall. He slammed into the scorched ground, tumbling across the lava-heated surface before finally skidding to a halt beside a jagged rock. Gasping for breath, his chest burning, Johnny crawled behind the stone for shelter, shaken and dazed, the heat of the ancient earth searing around him. Pressing the iconic 4 symbol on his chest, the suit's onboard computer activated with a calm voice. Location: 52 million years before Common Era, Earth. Johnny's heart pounded. "I'm before life even formed? Where's the rest of the team?" The computer's response was grim. "No signals detected." Panic crept in. "Analyze atmosphere composition." The computer responded, "Oxygen levels at approximately 20% of modern standards." "How am I even breathing?" Johnny gasped, struggling to fill his lungs. "I'm not a tree," he snapped in frustration. The computer explained patiently, "At these temperatures, oxidized metals release oxygen when heated. Photosynthesis has not yet begun." Still desperate, Johnny asked, "What do I do now?" "You must locate the Forever Stone," the computer advised. "A dense granite mass, one of Earth's oldest and most durable rocks. According to Fantastic Four protocol, if separated in time, members must find the Forever Stone and inscribe their name and date to reconnect." Determined, Johnny lit his flames again. This time, they burned brighter, fueled by what little oxygen he could find, and took to the sky. Battling the thinning air, he flew tirelessly over vast volcanic plains, his breath ragged, flames flickering weakly but steady. Night fell, and under a sky scattered with primitive stars, Johnny spotted the massive granite monolith, the Forever Stone. Landing heavily beside it, he used the tip of his fiery finger to etch the date and his name into the ancient rock. Exhausted, he slumped beside it, eyes closing briefly in weary hope. Meanwhile, millions of years later, Ben Grimm, the Thing, crashed down onto a prehistoric beach, the impact carving a deep crater into the earth. His rocky body struggled to lift itself from the ground as giant waves crashed nearby. But danger was immediate. A towering dinosaur lumbered toward him, jaws wide and teeth sharp. Ben didn't hesitate. Grabbing the beast's maw with his powerful hands, he tried to fend it off, but a second dinosaur charged from behind, clamping onto his leg with crushing force. The first beast grabbed his arm, attempting to pull him apart. The two giant predators worked in tandem, snarling hungrily, intent on tearing him limb from limb. But Ben's stone-hard skin was unyielding. With a brutal headbutt, he shattered the first dinosaur's teeth and delivered a crushing kick to the second's jaw. The beasts snarled in pain and retreated, giving Ben a moment to rise. Wiping dirt from his stony brow, Ben limped along the coastline toward the distant forests. The dense jungle was a labyrinth of shadows and hidden threats, but he pushed forward with sheer determination. Finally, deep in the foliage, Ben discovered the Forever Stone. He etched his name and the date into its surface, breathing heavily, heart pounding. But just as he finished, he felt the ground tremble. Hundreds of massive dinosaurs had surrounded him, their eyes fixed and hungry. Far away in the Middle Ages, 1266 CE, Reed Richards found himself plummeting from the sky over a medieval battlefield, where French and English armies clashed fiercely below. With quick thinking, Reed transformed his malleable body into a giant kite, catching the wind and slowing his descent. But the battle wasn't finished with him yet. A massive stone hurled by a catapult slammed into him, sending him crashing into a distant forest. Shaking off the impact, Reed navigated through thick trees until he reached the sea, crossing ancient cities and climbing towering mountains in pursuit of a single goal. Eventually, he arrived at a quiet grove, where, after hours of digging, he uncovered the legendary Forever Stone. Scanning the inscriptions, he saw the names and dates of Johnny and Ben, a grim reminder of their fractured fates. With a heavy heart, Reed etched his own name onto the stone. There was no sign of Sue Storm, meaning she was still ahead in the timeline, their last hope. Reed sat down beside the stone, waiting, hoping against hope. And in the distant future, the year 7 million CE, Sue Storm found herself struggling to control her powers as she descended onto a barren desert. The sun blazed mercilessly, burning even her invisible skin as she staggered toward the coordinates of the Forever Stone. But when she arrived, the stone was gone. A cold dread washed over her. Their only lifeline was gone. The Fantastic Four were scattered across time, each isolated and facing impossible odds. It seemed their fate was sealed, to perish alone in their separate eras. But this was not the end. Their story was far from over. To be continued. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that journey through time with the Fantastic Four, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because trust me, things are just getting started. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, stay awesome and stay curious. Until next time, take care.